right, babies, it's that time again. Oh, yeah. I was all in my head thinking about what I had to do today at work, and I realized I didn't start my broadcast yet. It was like, wow. That's something we gotta watch out for, huh? Just when you're so into your own head that you're kind of not connected with really anything. Yeah, I gotta watch out for that. But yeah, it's all good. It's a Friday. I have a meeting today where we present the annual plan for a student. Other than that, it's a pretty chill day. At the gym today, I'm going to be doing legs. Oh yeah. I used to hate doing legs. Now I do it moderately so that I'm at least documenting growth. Whereas before, I would push it too hard, and then I wouldn't want to do the routine because it was too hard. So I would ignore it and get behind and couldn't document growth. So the moderate view once again works. Small incremental stages of growth. So let's compare that with radical, revolutionary, more extreme approaches. And think about, for our own development, the betterment of the world, why extreme positions or hardcore or intense action is ever to be preferred to moderate, measured steps of growth. Because we have Jesus saying in the Gospels that if one of your hands offends you, cut it off. So there's something to this abrupt need of change. And as I'm thinking back on my life, I can see where there were cases where things just had to be eliminated. For instance, I used to be a smoker many decades ago. And at one point, it was just like, no, this is not good for the temple, so let's stop doing this. And I can't remember if I stopped cold turkey or if I just reduced it over time. But something that just had to be eliminated, as opposed to something where, like, say, eating sugar is fine as long as it's not a lot all at once or not frequent. Or how about in, like, our communication with each other? There's no amount of gossip that is work for me when you corrected me in front of everyone. So ever since then, I always, if I had something to address with him, I always spoke to him in private. And the relationship went fine. I never breached that contract that we had with each other. What else? Alright. Well, let's think of things that are more require a more moderate change. Go back to diet. You may notice your habits of enjoying a particular meal just needs to be smaller or less frequent. It doesn't have to be eliminated, especially if you balance it with decent exercise. And yeah, I can't think of any other. Well, I know in like working out, it works out perfectly. It's just like every time I do a certain exercise, I try to get 1 or 2 more reps in the exercise than I had previously. Instead of like, all right, put on 10 more pounds and do twice as many reps. It's like, no, you're gonna hurt yourself. I think sometimes we do that in the spirit. We put a burden on ourselves that's unnecessary, and we end up fretting over it when we're the ones who are placing it on ourselves, when Jesus is telling us, I've already accomplished everything. All you have to do is walk in it, sweetheart. That's such a different mind shift from one that's like trying to perform or trying to get to a certain level, when God is just saying, relax, rest. I'm the one who's going to do it anyway. So just focus on learning how to submit to my presence and power and action, and let me do it. And that works out so well in so many cases. Like if you need to forgive somebody, or if you need to say something to them, that it's kind of a restorative, healing type of communication. Those things that are very going to require a lot of nuance for it to be successful. It's where you just learn to let God do it. I know some of you might think, well, I don't understand what that means, letting God do it. In time you will, the more you make these kind of disciplinary decisions in your life, the more you're going to hear the voice of God and know what He wants, and you will learn to yield